What about the investigation into the origins of the Wuhan virus? You'll be surprised to hear this. The World Health Organization now refuses to rule out a link between the Wuhan virus and a lab leak, meaning they say a lab leak is very much a possibility and they want China to be more transparent. Well, don't we all? Nonetheless, it's good to have the WHO making the right noises for a change. At a press conference on Thursday, the WHO Chief Dr Tedros refused to rule out a lab leak. He said that it was premature to dismiss this theory earlier.
There was a premature push to, especially reduce one of the options, like the lab theory. And checking what happened, especially in our labs, is important. And we need information, direct information on what the situation of these labs was before and at the start of the pandemic.
At the beginning of the pandemic, this man was singing praises of the Chinese. What made him change his tune? Perhaps pressure from the scientific community and from the United States. You see, scientists the world over have overwhelmingly rejected the biased WHO report into the origins of the virus. It's hard to dismiss all of them. Plus, the Biden administration is conducting its own assessment into the possibility of a lab leak. So the World Health Organization can no longer remain blind to the truth. China has not been transparent, and that's a fact. Now, the WHO wants Beijing to share raw data it collected in Wuhan.
We are asking, actually, China to be transparent, open, and cooperate, especially on the information raw data that we asked for at the early days of the pandemic.
So what is China's response? It looks like Beijing was taken aback by the statement from Dr. Tedros. Their top diplomat, the wolf warrior-in-chief, sounded rather subdued today. A reporter asked him, Zhao Lijiang, about the WHO's demand. He said that China has received a plan from Dr. Tedros and that they're studying it.
China has taken note of the draft plan on virus tracing proposed by Director General Tedros and the WHO Secretariat, and the Chinese experts are studying it. China's position on global virus origin tracing is consistent and clear. The COVID-19 origin tracing is a scientific issue, and all parties involved should respect the opinions of scientists and scientific conclusions. It should not be politicized. The next phase of the global origin tracing program should be led by member states and agreed upon by all members through consultation.
The pressure is building on China. More and more countries are demanding transparency. Last month, the G7 demanded a new study into the origins. Today, Germany backed the appeal from Dr. Tedros. The German health minister said that China's response to the first investigation was, quote-unquote, not enough. That's also what Mary Robinson told us earlier this week. She's a former president of Ireland who has been at the forefront of shaping the global pandemic response to and has a special link with China. At the United Nations, she became the first High Commissioner for Human Rights to visit Tibet. So she knows China well, and she believes that China has not been transparent during the pandemic. Listen to this. How do you view China's role throughout this pandemic?
I think the question of the original origin is still one that has not been fully transparent.
And do you believe that China is going to cooperate and participate in any further investigations that the international community might think are needed to answer this question of origin?
I hope that China recognizes that it's in all our interests that we do have a way of really ascertaining objectively and scientifically, not politicizing it, the origin of this pandemic, because we're going to have other pandemics and we have to prepare for them.
You can watch the full interview with Mary Robinson on our Global Leadership series. As for China, it's safe to say that the world agrees that China is hiding something. We need a stronger push to demand accountability, though, and an impartial investigation to set the record straight. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.